What I have here is a DC power board, also called as DC power board. So basically this is the board that gives all the power to the camera. In this case, this one is for a Canon 6D. So I got this camera. By the way, if you want to watch the video, the two parts up here, and also if you want, this is as I was saying, it's for a Canon 6D. If you want to watch the full tear down, step-by-step tear down, also you can check here on the information. So this wasn't working. I replaced, just to give a bit of background. The camera wasn't working. I replaced the power board, and I start having some parts on the camera working, but not entirely. Again, you can, by watching the videos, you can understand better what was happening over there. But in this video, I'm gonna show you how to. So basically, there are different types of power boards. And lately, these power boards are getting less and less complex in component-wise. So they put more chips and more chips and less, basically less components. Before there were lots of components, lots of fuses. Protection fuses in case of something was going wrong. The fuse was blowing up and was saving the board. But now they don't do that anymore. Actually, because they don't care. Let me just zoom this in. They don't care as much as before. Now everything is now repairable by the manufacturer. Comes with this idea, or at least wants to give this idea that everything is replaceable and not repairable. So instead of repairing a board like this, or a motherboard like this, now instead of going and debugging different components, electronic components, now they just replace the whole thing. And they kind of reach the point to make this switch, unfortunately. But anyways, the reason of this video is to show you how I repair this. I did some checks. I found there's only one fuse on this one, and there are some they are called 0 resistance. So there are no resistance at all, and I believe the role of those are also for protecting, but they are not working the same as fuses. Fuses they have different different function and different way to be made. So as I was saying, there's one fuse here. The fuse works fine. The camera doesn't power up. And in this case, we will replace this little component here. We'll replace this one. I will replace this one. Since I have it, I have the whole tools, all necessary tools to replace it. I'm going to show you how I do it, and then we're going to try it on the camera and see if it works. On this one, I still was getting some power, checking with my power driver while I was testing the camera. I was getting some readings on the amperage screen of the power driver, but nothing after that. Nothing was happening. So means that the chip, this is a buck converter, so-called buck converter. So basically, it converts different power to has different outputs. And I said, okay, since I have the chip, it's not that difficult for me. It's not that difficult to replace it. This is quite difficult, to be honest. And I'm gonna give it another shot and see if this is working. Next, I'm gonna put this under the microscope. I do hope this time I'm gonna be able, because the microscope doesn't have the same view I have on the optical view. I have a wider view on the optical view, but I'll try to do my best to stay in focus and stay in the middle of the image. And yeah, let's move on to the next step, where I'm gonna change the chip. Since I'm showing this kind of this type of work for the first time, I'm not gonna speed up the video. I'm gonna use the normal speed in this case, just for you to have it as a reference and understand how much time it takes for the chip. This is a very small chip, but even if it's small, it takes quite a while. At least with the type of heat gun I have, it's not one of the best. It's a very old one. I don't use it that much, so I don't need a better one, at least for now. And in this case, I'm using the maximum temperature that this heat gun can generate, which is 450 degrees Celsius. And I'm just waiting to reach to warm up enough the chip, the microchip, in order to desolder it. It might require some patience, and obviously you need patience, otherwise you may risk to, if you try to pull out the microchip before it reaches the melting temperatures, you risk to damage the motherboard, the circuit board. So patience, it's the key, as always, in this type of work. But I think I'm quite close to reach the melting point of the soldering. As you can see, this comes now. It's free, and yeah, the chip it's out. Next, before I prepare the new chip, I'm gonna add some flux and clean up the area. And by the way, this is under the microscope. You might not be able to notice the how small this is actually, the ratio of the scale of the work itself. So I've changed the heat gun. Sorry, I've changed the soldering iron head, because the other one wasn't the proper one. So I'm just trying to clean the area. Later on, you're gonna see that part of the green stuff, green paint on the soldering joints, it will come off. But that is not a problem, because in this case, the points where the paint went off, they are just bridged points. So it's not a problem for now, but definitely this is better if it's avoided. I tried my best to not create any pressure, but apparently the paint is not that great for this kind of a work, on the Canon's circuit boards. So this is the new chip. Just to understand, this has already it's already with the balls on it. I'm just trying to figure out how to handle it. It's just it's kind of an exercise, because this is the first time I'm doing this on cameras. Before, I was doing this in I have a bit of a background from phone repair, so I'm adding a bit of a flux in order to create a better connection through the solder balls, the joints, and also not create any not to mix the soldering between one to each other. I'm just trying to position the chip, which this might require a bit of work and patience, and it's quite important to put the chip in the right position for all the joints to be centered properly in the right position, actually. So yeah, it requires a bit of work and patience. So next I'm gonna heat up and basically undo the process. I'm just heating up the area around again before I reach to the microchip, and once I feel safe enough, I am getting closer and closer to the chip. So if you definitely, in this case, you need a microscope, otherwise you're not going to be able to do this kind of work. And you might notice later on, when the chip is starting, the connections are starting to melt down. We're gonna see some difference in the flux, especially the flux here will react differently. It's almost it's close to, yes, the points are start melting, and the microchip, it's positioning by itself. It gets automatically in position. Just quickly check to see if it's in position, which it is, and this job is done. So I've cleaned the area around, and now I'm just doing a visual check to see the condition of the solder points. And this looks very good, I must say. I'm pretty much proud of my work. And yeah, let's put it back on a camera and test it. Right, so in this video, as you can see, the camera, it's already half opened. So I'm not gonna, in this video, not gonna see step by step what I'm doing. Our focus is to replace the DC power board and see if the camera works. I'm gonna show you that with this camera, it's fully working. Yeah, well, I just put a empty battery. I will use directly my DC power unit. And turning on, I have a message on the screen because I'm not using the genuine battery. Just need to accept sensor cleaning. I have power. I can do my shot. I have an example here. What you see, you've seen this, is because the menu is set it up for white to show the whites, but I can change this, and now the exposure is darker. Anyways, I'm gonna reach this point of showing of the DC power board replacing, and see if the camera is still working. Again, if you want to see how this camera gets disassembled step by step, just go here, or if you watch on the phone, go on the info icon, use the info icon. And also, if you want to check, there's also a video, 2 videos for showing you how to repair this camera. I will go fast on this until I reach the power board. Alright, so I put the shields back. I don't think there's need to show that on camera. You can figure it out by yourself as well. So there are 2 points here when you put the shield. There are 2 points, one here and another one here, and on this other way, one here and another one here. So you have to put them in the middle of the I don't know how to call them, holders maybe. So yeah, let's put this repaired one, and hopefully it will work. Okay, so keep in mind, don't take this camera reassembling this camera as reference. Go to see the other videos. I'm just put screw casually. The way I know, anyways, I know which screw where it goes, what type of screw is needed. But don't use this as reference. Use the other videos. So now is the moment of the truth. Let's see. Okay, I've had a quick reading. I have 150 milliamps quick read, which that's normal. Again, go to the other videos to understand a bit better what I'm talking about. Right, power. I have power, so it's asking me for the battery. I'm gonna put OK and cleaning of the sensor, and I have all the reads I need here. Everything it's communicating, menu, screen, other setups. So let's give it a shot. Yep. The camera exposed. works, live view, doesn't shut down. I have probably, yes, you can see there's some image over there. Definitely there is no lens, so you don't see. There's just change in the shades of the light, but this works fine. So yeah, I have another DC power unit for the X6D into my spare parts. I think this is it. We're gonna close the video here. If you like this kind of videos, if you want to learn more, consider to subscribe, put a thumbs up, share with other channels if it's possible, other photographers, so they know and they can learn as well. They can learn how to do these things by themselves. And see you in the next one.